everyone, welcome back to Gangnam Korean. I'm Juhee. For the past couple weeks, you've been learning how to conjugate Korean verbs into the past tense and the present tense. So now it's time to move on to the future tense Korean verbs. Are you ready? Let's begin. Now, let's talk about Korean verbs in the future tense. Just like the past tense or the present tense, the future tense Korean conjugation is very simple and probably more easier than those two. First, you have a verb in the dictionary form which ends in 다. So you take away the 다. Then what's left there is called the verb stem. And you add the verb ending either 릴 거예요 or 을 거예요. When do you need 릴 거예요? And when do you need 을 거예요? It really depends on the verb stem. So if the verb stem ends in a vowel, you put 릴 거예요. And if the verb stem ends in a consonant, including the double final consonant or 겹받침, you put 을 거예요. And make sure that there's a space between 릴 and 거예요 or 을 and 거예요. And you write it 거예요, not 거예요. But when you pronounce it, think about it. Or try this. If you say 거예요, 거예요, it's not very easy to pronounce, even for Korean people. So people just say 거예요, 거예요, 거예요. Although when you write it, you have to write 거예요, okay? So here are some examples. 보다, 보다. This means to watch, to see, or to look at something. And of course, this is the dictionary form, which ends in 다. And what do you need to do in order to conjugate this into the future tense? Yes, take away the 다. Then what's left? 보. What is it called? The verb stem. And what does it end in? Consonant or vowel? A vowel. Yes, 오, 오. So which verb ending do you need to add here? 릴 거예요 or 을 거예요? Yes, 릴 거예요. It's not 거예요. When you write it as 거예요, but when you say it, it's more like 거예요, 거예요, 거예요. Okay, say it. Repeat after me. 거예요, 거예요. Very good. So, 보릴 거예요, 볼 거예요, 볼 거예요. Will watch. If you can't really memorize which one 릴 거예요 or 을 거예요 comes after what, think about this. If the verb stem ends in a consonant, which means it has a 받침, the final consonant, just like 먹 from the verb 먹다, 먹다. If you add 릴 거예요 after 먹, how do you read it? 먹릴 거예요? No. It has to be 먹을 거예요, 먹을 거예요, not 먹릴 거예요, because it doesn't make any sense. So if the verb ending 릴 거예요 is added to the verb stem, that verb stem should end in a vowel. So now, back to the future tense of 보다. Let me give you an example sentence of 볼 거예요. Here, 저는 내일 뉴진스 공연을 볼 거예요. How much do you understand? Of course, you do understand 저는, which means I, and 뉴진스 is a Korean girl group. So 저는 I, 내일, tomorrow, 뉴진스 공연을, a 뉴진스 concert, 볼 거예요, will watch. Tomorrow I will watch a 뉴진스 concert. In Korean, of course, you can switch this position, I and tomorrow. So 저는 내일 뉴진스 공연을 볼 거예요. Or 내일 저는 뉴진스 공연을 볼 거예요. Either one is fine. But unlike English, we don't put the adverb at the end of the sentence. You always end the Korean sentence with a verb or a predicative adjective which works like a verb. So you don't end the Korean sentence with an adverb. So that's very different from English. Now let's try 을 거예요. How about 먹다, 먹다, to eat. Take away the 다. What do you have? 먹, which is the verb stem, which ends in a consonant. So what do you need to add there? 을 거예요. That's right. So 먹을 거예요. Will eat. 저는 김밥을 먹을 거예요. I will eat 김밥. 저는 김밥을 먹을 거예요. How about 하다 verbs? When you conjugate 하다 verbs into the present tense, they do not become 하요, but they become 해요, right? So it's kind of an exceptional thing. And when you conjugate 하다 verbs into the past tense, they don't become 했어요, but 했어요, right? But when it comes to the future tense, the same formula, which is to add 릴 거예요 or 을 거예요 to the verb stem is still applied. So 하다, remove 다, 하 is left, which is the verb stem that ends in a vowel. So you put 릴 거예요. So 할 거예요. Not 할 거예요, but 할 거예요. 할 거예요. Easy, right? So this is why I earlier mentioned that this is easier and simpler than the other two tenses. And one more thing, this is very important. If the verb stem ends in a consonant, but that consonant is nothing but 릴, do you think you need to add 릴 거예요 or 을 거예요? Which one? The answer is neither one, because there's 릴 already there. So you just put 거예요. For example, 울다, to cry, 울다. Remove the 다, you have the verb stem 울, which ends in 릴, right? So you don't put 울 거예요. Instead, you put just 거예요. So 울 거예요, will cry, but don't cry. For example, 자꾸 야단치면 울 거예요. If you keep yelling at me, I'm going to cry or I will cry. 자꾸 야단치면 울 거예요. Now, let's practice some more future conjugation. 마시다, to drink. You remove the 다, and what do you have left? 마시. When it comes to the past and the present tense, you have to think. Even if the verb stem ends in a vowel, you have to think which vowel it is. If it's a or o, you add 아요 or as어요. But if they end in 어, 우, 이, you have to put 어요 or 어써요. Right? But when it comes to future tense, it's a lot simpler. If the verb stem ends in a vowel, no matter what the vowel is, you just put 리을 거예요. So here, 마시다, 마시릴 거예요. What is it? 마실 거예요. Will drink. 뭐 마실 거예요? What will you drink? 물 마실 거예요. I'll drink water. 커피 마실 거예요. I'll drink coffee. Next, you have 가다, which means to go. 가다. So, take away the 다, and what do you have left? 가, which is the verb stem, and it ends in a vowel 아. So, which one do you need to put? 릴 거예요 or 을 거예요? Of course, 릴 거예요. So, 갈 거예요. 갈 거예요. will go. 오늘은 학교에 갈 거예요. I will go to school today. 오늘은 학교에 갈 거예요. 그런데 내일은 학교에 안 갈 거예요. But I will not go to school tomorrow. 내일은 학교에 안 갈 거예요. 안 here means not. So 안 갈 거예요. So we put 안 before the verb. 그런데 내일은 학교에 안 갈 거예요. 오늘은 학교에 갈 거예요. 그런데 내일은 학교에 안 갈 거예요. Our next verb is 오다, to come. 오다. Simply remove the 다 and you have 오. It ends in a vowel, of course. So you put yes, 릴 거예요. So 올 거예요. 올 거예요. will come. 지수는 파티에 올 거예요. 지수 will come to the party. 지수는 파티에 올 거예요. 내일은 비가 올 거예요. What do you think that means? Tomorrow, 내일은 비가, B means rain. 올 거예요. will come. So tomorrow, the rain will come, meaning tomorrow it'll be raining. Or it'll rain tomorrow. Next, 자다, to sleep. Remove the 다. It's very easy, right? 자 ends in a vowel, so you put yes, 릴 거예요. 잘 거예요. 잘 거예요. will sleep. 오늘은 일찍 잘 거예요. So 오늘은 today or tonight, because you're talking about when to sleep. 일찍, early. 잘 거예요. will sleep or will go to bed. So I'll go to bed early tonight. 오늘은 일찍 잘 거예요. Our next verb is 걷다. 걷다, to walk. Oh, this is a bit different and tricky. You remove the 다, you have 걷, which ends in a consonant, 디귿. But if you remember this verb, to walk, 걷다, do you remember how we conjugated into the present tense or the past tense? Yes, very good. You had to change this 디귿 to 릴 because there is another verb which is 걷다. 걷다, which has a different meaning, which conjugates into the past tense 걷었어요, into the present tense 걷어요. But this 걷다 is a different meaning. So in order to make it clear, you have to conjugate it a bit differently by changing this 디귿 to 리을, right? So it was not 걷어요, but it was 걸어요. And the past tense, it was not 걷었어요, but it was 걸었어요. And the future tense is the same. You change this 디귿 to 리을. So if it becomes 걸 and 을 거예요, 걸을 거예요, will walk, 걸을 거예요. Here's a sentence. 10분만 걸을 거예요. 10분, 10 minutes. And 만 is more like just or only. So 10분만 걸을 거예요. I'll walk just for 10 minutes. 10분만 걸을 거예요. Next, 듣다, to hear or to listen. You put 을 거예요 because 듣 ends in a consonant, but just like 걷다, 듣다 is the same. So you change this 디귿 to 리을, right? So 들을 거예요. 들을 거예요. Will listen or will hear. So here's a sample sentence. 전 BTS 음악을 들을 거예요. I will listen to BTS music. 전 BTS 음악을 들을 거예요. Our next verb is 좋아하다, to like. This is a 하다 verb, right? So you remove the 다 and you have 좋아하. So it ends in a vowel. So you put 리을 거예요. 좋아할 거예요. 좋아할 거예요. Will like. 제니는 그 선물을 좋아할 거예요. 제니는 그 선물, that present or the present, 좋아할 거예요. Will like. So Jenny will like the present. Our next verb is 말하다, 말하다, which means to talk or to say or to speak or to tell. And of course, it's a 하다 verb. So 말하, you remove the 다, 말하릴 거예요, 말할 거예요, 말할 거예요, will tell, will talk. Here's an example. 저는 사실대로 말할 거예요. 사실 means the truth. 사실대로 말하다. It's more like an idiomatic expression which means to tell the truth in English. So 저는 I 사실대로 말할 거예요. Will tell the truth or tell you the truth. 저는 사실대로 말할 거예요. And our next verb is very simple. It's 하다, to do. We already covered that, so it's very easy. So what is the future tense of 하다? 할 거예요. 할 거예요. Will do. So 저는 일을 할 거예요. I will work. And also we already did 먹다 and 보다. So we can kind of review that. 먹다, 먹다, to eat. So how do you conjugate this into the future tense? 먹, remove the 다, you have 먹, 먹을 거예요. 먹을 거예요. Will eat. 오늘 저녁은 뭐 먹을 거예요? What are we eating for dinner? 김치볶음밥을 먹을 거예요. We'll eat kimchi fried rice. Our final verb is 보다, to see. We already did that, right? So it's easy. How do you conjugate it into future tense? 볼 거예요. 볼 거예요. So here's a sentence. 오늘 밤 영화를 볼 거예요. I'll watch a movie tonight. 오늘 밤 영화를 볼 거예요. So this is it for 한국어 동사 미래형 만들기. Kind of long, which means to conjugate Korean verbs into the future tense. Very good, very good. Well, if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up and let me know. And make sure you subscribe to this channel or share this video with lots of people. Okay? Thank you. And please be sure that you continue 한국어 미래형 동사 practice with me with my shorts. Okay? The review video on all these three tenses, the past tense, the present tense, and the future tense will be coming up soon. So wait for it. 네, 여러분 아주 수고 많으셨어요. Well done, everybody. 자, 그럼 다음 시간에 뵐게요. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.